Okay, the first thing I think that needs to get done to even try to get this Magnum motor running is just get it to a point where I can work on stuff. A bit crowded around here, but as you can see, at the back of the motor, here's the distributor for the Magnum. I have this in my stock. This is a LA Motor distributor. It's actually off of this 340 motor out of a Dodge Demon. I'll show you that project in the future, but right now this guy needs to be cleaned up so when I take this distributor out, all of this garbage doesn't fall down into the motor. Also, look at this. I don't know, that's a bit of a bummer. I'm gonna actually try to JB weld that thing and see if I can get it to take. But the next time I show you the back of this, this will be a little bit more manageable, and hopefully this will be in there. Hook it to this wiring harness and start cranking. Still haven't put oil into the motor, done anything like that. We'll get there. Okay, back to this Magnum motor on Discovery. Just a couple of items that make me think that this thing's had some work done to it before. This tranny pan has been resealed. And you can see the silicone squeezing out here. I guess that's not super unusual on stuff. I kind of wondered earlier when I was looking at this if it hadn't had the heads off for some reason. And now that I'm looking at stuff, cleaning stuff, this looks like silicone squeezing out right where the intake and the heads go to the block, which, you know, you do that. I broke a little piece of silicone off here, but you can see this right here. And also a cork gasket. Let's see if we can get a good view here. Right along the back side of this guy. So I don't think the factory sealed it with cork. So this thing's probably had the heads off. We'll see. Just keep on going. I can't tell if this is an aftermarket gasket or head gasket or not. But if I'm that far into the motor, then that'll be a sad day. We'll see. Oh yes, the other thing. Aftermarket exhaust manifold gaskets. Both sides. Yeah, a little timing mark for future reference. We'll see if that's helpful. The right tool for the right job. These little wrenches for the distributor are a godsend. Here's another good little brain teaser for car guys, Mopar guys in particular. The way they number their pistons, the driver's side bank here is, well, number 1, 3, 5, and 7 piston. Firing order is 1, 8, 4, 3, 6, 5, 7, 2. So if this is 7, 5 and 2 should be on the other side of the firing order on the distributor. All the plug wires are going to the positive side, 2, 4, 6, 8. So 1, 8, 4, 3, 6, 5, 7, 2. So this should be 2. And it's not. It is leading into 6. And 5 should be right next to 7. So this should be 5 if this is going to 7. I mean, I guess it could have been pulled off, snapped back on. That's been on there a while. What the heck is going on with that? Okay, I guess I'm going to line up the timing mark, do all that stuff, just to see where we're really at. So here's the timing cover, timing mark. Here's TDC, if you can see that. I think that the true timing mark, we've got a couple lines on this crank. Here's one back here, one down there. I think the true timing mark is actually this guy here. So I'll line up that timing mark with the distributor rotor. Maybe I'll even pull a plug, make sure we're at TDC on number 1. We are, as best I can tell, top dead center timing mark there. If you look down, I pulled a plug, look down into the plug hole here, you can see the piston pretty clearly. Yeah, right there. And it's with a screwdriver kind of probing it down in there. It's at the top. Our rotor, I thought, at least when I'm messing around with the older LAs, the rotor was supposed to point towards the number 1 cylinder, or towards the front of the motor somehow. I do have a Dodge Dakota with a 5.9 in it. And if I recall, this isn't real responsive to timing, rotating like on the older motors. I think most of that timing control is set and monitored, regulated through the computer. So anyway, I'm gonna kind of keep going on this. This is about ready to come out. And up next. Not oddly, but at least somewhat securely enough, when I popped this distributor out of here, I'm going to shine a light, the tab notch is actually pointed in the right direction. So, you know, there's that. Here's a little bit of better insight into this motor. You can kind of see the cam, the roller lifter, at least for the number, would that be the 8 on that side? I think that's where the lifter was sitting, that little bar across that cam lobe. I mean, it looks varnishy. It doesn't look catastrophic. I'll just I'll keep going on this, I guess. We'll see if I can't find anything else to. Gear looks good. All right. Okay. Okay, let's see how fitment is on this guy. You know. See, I think 1 is usually that way, right? That's for LA motors. The vacuum advance pod usually heads off towards the passenger side of the motor. The little tab is pretty lined up there. Drop this thing in and see what's up. Right about like so, I imagine. Seems to fit here. Where are you? Where are you? Let's turn you back a little bit and index that. Oh, hey. Yeah, like a glove. And that's pretty much the way you want your rotor to be directed at. Right towards the front, number one, if you can. It still could be 180 out timing wise. This could actually be at the exhaust stroke at top dead center over here. I could pull a valve cover and look, but you know, if I have to just flip this 180, it's easy enough to do. It's just a slot that you could be one way or the other. So we'll see when we get to that point. On this distributor, when you do LA blocks, you usually have a lot of rotational ability here to advance and retard timing. This hits everything. The wire against the intake manifold there, the vacuum canister, right? I mean, it is not going anywhere unless I take off some of this, looks like EGR stuff. I don't know. I'll still probably try it. Maybe I'll get the other distributor out too, the cheap Chinese one, and see if it offers me any better. But I think that giant canister on the side of it is going to be even a worse impediment to that rotation. Man, now I know how the real YouTubers feel with filming with one hand and working with the other. Anywho, here's the other distributor. I think this ECU pod is actually on the back side of it, so it may afford us a little more space. Let me pop this guy out. Let's see about dropping this guy in. I did not look to see which way the rotor was oriented in here, but I'm gonna do the slot in the kind of direct orientation. Okay, it drops in, and all right, sets all the way down in there, and offers I mean, that should be enough timing rotation no matter what. The real trick is going to make sure that you have enough firewall clearance for this little monster here. But other than that, man, if this keeps going like this, this might be my go-to distributor. We'll see. We will see. Let's see what we got going here at all. In there, it's kind of a weird rotation. I actually have never been into this before. So here, oh, sorry guy. 180 isn't going to help me with that. So you're back down. I guess the one thing I'll have to do is just, you know, just have to put the one wire there or here somewhere, just clock it a little bit differently on the cap. So, but boy, that's pretty nice. Well, now my curiosity's definitely up about this, so I decided to go ahead and let's take the little protection panel, whatever this is, off of here and just see what's under here. This slides out, sort of. Oh, well, I talked about the Chevrolet HEI that a lot of people go to. It's like a little box similar to this thing in here, and I think it usually has two tabs on this side, two tabs on this side. This thing just seems to like integrate it, all of them straight out the front here. So, you know, that's it basically is the same darn thing. Very nice. Good deal. Well, I'm thinking maybe I'll just go with this first and see the results. All right, messing around with this thing. Here's a couple of little idiosyncrasies, let's call them, with this distributor here. Fairly well machined. It looks like everything turns pretty free. my question is, what if I need a cap? Or is something comparable to this available at Napa or AutoZone, O'Reilly's, whatever flavor you shop at, as well as the rotor inside? Is that a pretty common piece? It's pretty uncommon for Mopar. I've never seen it like that. The inside pieces I'm not truly worried about. If I need to break it down that far, there's other issues going on. I did notice on this cap, it has a little, let's see, where are you? Right here. This little tab. It's supposed to lock in behind this clip right here. And what happens is that is really shallow. And when you try to do that, to get it to set in there, come on you. Let's see, is it over here? Darn it. Let me get back to you on that. When you try to set it in there, what happens is it does not seat all the way. And it looks like more of a clearance issue. If you can tell, this cap is not set on there flat. So it's a little cockeyed that way. I think it's just a matter of clearancing this, making the notch, the tab just a little bit deeper, and then this little electrical piece also is bumping the bottom of this cap. So I'm going to shave that down so that at least this surface is sitting on the inside shoulder, the inside shoulder all the way in here, all the way around. It sits flat. That's a pretty, I mean, I've messed with things before to get them to fit, so, you know, that. So I went ahead and decided I'm going to yank all of the plugs out of this motor to take a look. Number one looked pretty good. I'll line everything up when I'm done with that. But you know, just to get a better idea of what the inside of these cylinders are kind of looking like, I guess. Pretty wise to do that. I already took number one out, messed around, and I kind of realized what this thing looked like from the inside. This is probably a good idea no matter what you're working on. That wasn't terrible. I think I did these two already. This guy. Oh. Darn, I should have done number one before I yanked that thing out of there. How about passenger side? Let's see. Yeah, on these little Magnum motors, you put these little, I think they're like heat protectors for the plug wires and stabilizers, whatever, but man, they hold on to the stuff. I have, when I've done it before, indexed the little slot here down so that at least when water, I take it to the car wash and do underneath it, at least the water drains down that way, not up. So, a little helpful stuff. Okay, spark plugs out. Pretty good. Here they are. They look all right. Used, not abused. Let's see if we can get that focused in here. Come on, you. A little closer. I don't know. Here we go. Maybe like that. Man, fuel injected motors, you know, they just do not really foul plugs and such. All of them pretty much look like this, even on the other side. And just by eyeballing them, I would say the gap is good on all of them. This is the passenger side. Maybe a little dark on that one, a little rich. 2, 4, 6, 8. 8, what's going on with you? Something, a little oil burning, maybe. Sometimes, depending on how emission stuff, gases, crankcase, venting goes into the intake, it can favor one of the passages a little bit more, the intake runners, which means that maybe a little bit more oil, some of the other stuff kind of gets down into that one cylinder. What I am going to do is squirt some penetrating oil, maybe a little bit of tranny fluid. I don't have any Marvel mystery or any of that stuff, but down into these cylinders just to give them a little bit of lubrication. This motor's probably been sitting between 8 to 10 years, so that it wouldn't hurt. And not having any oil in it also, which I have not even addressed yet, at least give me a little bit of insurance that we won't have a bad hiccup, ring score, scoring the cylinder walls, any of that. So onward. Here also, while I'm thinking about it, the motor, this Magnum motor when it came, is basically, it came with a full-on exhaust. I'm going to shine a light. It's manifolds on both sides, going down to the cross tube into a catalytic converter right here with an O2 sensor. And I looked, let's see if I can get it for you guys here. When I look down into here, I can actually see the filament stuff, or the screen, whatever it is, for the cat is really intact. So that looks to me like I got a fully intact catalytic converter. And in case I didn't catch it before, these plugs are the Champion RC12YC. I think this is a pretty stock, basic plug for the Dodge Magnum 360s for sure. I'll plop them back in, reuse them until we fire this thing up and really figure out what I'm going to do with it. If you also, this is kind of a down the road question, observation. What should this be put in? What can I put this in without it, without having to, rewire the whole thing? I'm gonna have to plug off a lot of stuff. There is another aftermarket intake for these that you can run a carburetor on them and such. I have one actually that I could do that on. I don't know, something, it'd be cool to put it into something like that. That's got a motor though. So does that Duster. But this guy, what I really think would be cool is into a old truck. I really like those old early 50s Studebaker trucks, and this thing plopped in there, I think would be amazing. Even an old Dodge Adventure Club Cab, Ram Charger with this thing in it. Heck, could have air conditioning, all the daily or modern day conveniences, so to speak. Let me know what you think.